I need to be honest about something. 2 days ago, Claude Opus just came out and it changed everything about how I build tools for members inside the AI Profit Boardroom. You see, for example, when someone used to ask me like how to build an SEO tool, it would take hours and it would be an absolute nightmare, to be honest with you. Now, what you can do using this new update from Opus is pretty mind blowing. I mean, I'm going to show you a few examples of what I built, how I can build it, how you can automate different things. If you have questions as we go along as well, feel free to ask. And I just want to make this as useful as it possibly can be. So if you're thinking about using this, then let's get into this. So for example, this whole page right here was actually automated using Claude Opus 4.5, which is their brand new model. And from what I've seen, honestly, I prefer it out of all of the models for coding, for design, for front end, etc. For writing, very, very powerful tool as well. And I'm going to show you exactly how to use it step by step. So for example, if you look at this particular page, the way that we've designed it and built it, it's all in HTML, right? And literally the way that I created it was I just screenshotted the old version, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. And then turned it into and just asked it to be designed into like a more beautiful modern style landing page, right? So let me show you exactly how this works and how you can do this too, and how we can redesign a page live together if you actually want to. So for example, if we take an old page, this is quite an old design from one of the landing pages we use, and it converts really well, to be fair. We do get like sales calls booked in a lot from this page, right? But what we can do if we want to make it even more beautiful, right, is we can, for example, take a screenshot of this page like so, and then we can copy that image like you can see right here. We can go back to Claude, right? So we're going to open up Claude here. I'm going to select Opus 4.5. Some people say Opus 4.5 is expensive, but just use the free version inside Claude.ai, and then you don't need to worry about that, right? And so from here, for example, we can say, okay, redesign this in HTML, more modern, beautiful, interesting, rewrite the copy, Alex Hormozy style, right? That's literally it, the world's simplest prompt. So we've taken a screenshot, we pasted that in, we asked it to redesign it and make it look more interesting. And then what it's doing over here is beginning to redesign it using HTML, right? And I'll show you how to insert this into your funnel in a second. So for example, if we have a look at this page, right? So this is a redesigned page that we used with Claude Opus 4.5 previously. If we take a look at this page right here and we scroll down, the way that we've done this is we've used Go High Level, and you can use whatever landing page builder you want to use. And then you see how we've got the HTML here. That's literally all the page is, right? It's just blocks of HTML, as you can see. So for example, if we open this up, this is just code, and I don't know how to code, right? I don't know how to code. I don't know what code means. I can understand a little bit of this, but honestly, I'm no expert, and I wouldn't know where to start with most of the CSS that's inside it, right? All this code with .hero before, etc. is all very messy. And so what you can do over here is you can grab the code like you can see from Claude Opus 4.5. So it's creating the modern landing page right here. And it's redesigning the page to create a nicer front end. And then once you've got that HTML block, you can then go over to, for example, your landing page builder, whether that's Elementor or WordPress, whatever CMS you use, and you can use that to start building this out, right? And it's super powerful, but also really easy to do. So we're going to wait for that to load. You can see it's coding in the meantime. I'm going to do some stuff in the background whilst I'm talking, but the main thing to note here is like this has never been easier and never been better to get better outputs from this, right? I've never seen something that actually creates such good outputs when it comes to design and front end and everything else. And what would be really interesting to test actually is if you took a page like this and then you actually compared it, Gemini versus Claude, and see which one does the best. In fact, we can actually do that in a second. All right, so if we go over to Gemini here, we're going to use exactly the same prompt that we used inside Claude Opus. So we'll copy that image and paste it inside here. And then we're also going to type in this prompt like so. And then with this prompt, we can plug that in, paste that in, boom, right? And we're going to use Gemini and compare it against Claude Opus. And I honestly think that from what I've seen so far, like Claude Opus is way, way better. Now, this is just like a tiny little smidgen, right? A little tiny smidgen of what you can do with Claude Opus, but essentially you can get a feel for how it works and what you can do step by step right here. So we've now got Claude Gemini that's implementing the design. The only thing I don't like about Claude Opus is I mean, look at the UI, right? The UI is super messy. I don't like that. But if you just want to grab the HTML, you can grab it like so. We can open this up, right? Let's zoom out a little bit here. And then you've got the page like this, right? And all you do is you just make sure that when you're using this, right, that you have the actual embeddable video right here that you can insert in, right? But that page looks a lot more modern and new than something that I've personally built, right? So if we go back to the old page versus the new page, this is the new page, human design, pretty messy, looks a little bit spammy and not that nice, right? I mean, what's going on over here, mate? You know what I mean? And we run like a lot of Facebook ads to this page, right? Whereas, for example, if we go over here and we check out this page, look how much nicer and cleaner this page looks, right? And it's just been rewritten completely. It reads much nicer. It's got much more social proof. I would say that's probably much more likely to convert. And then all we need to do is just copy this HTML over here, right? So, for example, if we go to something like LiveWeave, I'm not going to paste it straight into my HTML. But if I wanted to redesign it, then I can just paste it into whatever HTML editor I have, right? And you can see it comes up with something like this. And then you can screenshot the next page, the next page, the next page, etc. Now, if you have any questions as we're going along, like feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep yapping on and talk to you about some other stuff that you can do. You can see exactly how this works step by step, right, and how easy this is to build. So what we would do from there is we would just go over to the landing page builder, and then you would open up the code editor, and you would just paste in the new code that you've redesigned the page with. Obviously, I'm not going to change it because this is a live page, and I don't want to mess up my funnels. But essentially, that's how it works step by step. Now, there's actually so much more that you can do with Claude as we go along. So, for example, if we open up the Chrome tab over here, or what you can also do here, right, is you can take the next part of the page and ask it to redesign that. How do you do that? Good question. All right. So what you can do is you can go back to that landing page you want to redesign, right? This one right here. And then you can just screenshot the next part, right? So you can say, okay, let's grab that. I'm going to copy this, close that. I don't know why that's opened. Close that. Okay, now go back to Claude Opus, paste that in, and then just say, okay, now add this section plus redesign it in a similar way. You can also plug in your brand colors as well. So if you have like specific brand colors that you want to use or prefer to use, you can as well. That's no problem. And then that's going to redesign it on the left-hand side. Now, whilst that's being done, we can check out what Gemini has done. Let's have a look here. I mean, what's going on here? We can't even preview it. We need Canvas open really, but I'll just go to LiveWeave and take that content from Gemini. All right, and then we can compare them side by side. So if we go over to LiveWeave, like you can see, I'm going to paste in the new code from Gemini, and we'll see which one creates the best video here, and which one creates a landing page that looks the best. So let me know in the comments, actually. I'd be interested to know which one you think is better, because this one from Gemini is pretty nice too. So this is the one from Gemini. As you can see, this is a landing page. Looks pretty nice. And then this is the page from Claude Code. The only thing that I would say with Gemini is it went a bit overboard on the copy. I didn't really like the copy that's used, but actually looks pretty nice. Right? I like the CTA button as well. That's pretty nice right there. Either way, it looks a lot better than I previously had. Right? It looks a lot nicer than the previous design that I had. And you can see how easy this is, right, to build. By the way, if you do want SEO, if you want help with SEO, you can order via our Black Friday page. It's been designed with Claude Opus. Link in the comments description if you want to get access to that, and you'll save 30% when you sign up. We've also got a deal on Black Friday for the AI Profit Boardroom, which is our community for AI. If you want to learn AI automation, get coaching, get training, get all my courses, etc., we have a Black Friday only sale, and you can sign up now and save 40% forever. Right, so if you sign up now, link in the comments description, you get that Black Friday deal. Obviously, it's not around forever, but you can get access to that today if you sign up. All right, so this is an example. Now we've got the redesign part as well. So you can see how it's re-added. It's redesigned that top part, right? And then it's starting to redesign the rest of the page here, and it looks pretty nice, to be honest with you. There's some parts that need a bit of polishing, like you can see. So these bits at the bottom probably need a bit of polishing, but you can see some examples. I like that ticker banner at the bottom as well. That looks pretty nice, and yeah, it's looking really cool, isn't it? We're getting there. So, I mean, the thing to note here is, like, before this, right, when someone asked me to build them an SEO tool, it would take hours, sometimes days, and I had to write code, fix it, text it, test it, fix bugs, write more code. It was slow and hard, all right? But now I can, but now I can build complete SEO tools in minutes using Claude Opus, and you can use Gemini together with it. All right. So here's what's changed, right? So for example, if someone asks you to build a tool, you don't need to be technical anymore. You don't need to hire anyone. You don't need months to learn it. You just need to know how to talk to these tools the right way, which is what I'm showing you today. Right? And literally, you just keep your prompts and your ideas super simple. And it's not really about how good the tool is, because the tool is absolutely insane, right? But the difference here is the difference here really is that you just have to know how to prompt it properly, right? That's the difference between someone who's really good with this stuff and someone who's not going to get results at all. Got a question inside here. And Serge says, insane is that every day some are better than others. When will it ever stop? Never. I know that is frightening. Yeah, I mean, I would agree. Like, it is frightening, like how good this stuff is. I mean, you've seen proof today that my old page, which still converts pretty well, but my old page doesn't look anywhere near as nice, right, as the vibe coded page that we just created in like 2 minutes. And bear in mind, it used to take me like ages to create that stuff, right? How do you export the working website? You can put on your PHP, you can put on your PHP server. So the way that I do it, right, literally, I don't worry about PHP or anything like that. Literally, all I do is you go up to copy, so copy that over here, right? Copy that code. And then you go over to whatever website CMS you have and start building with it, right? So I can probably show you like an example, actually. If I pull up an example, I can create a new page now inside Go High Level just to show you what this looks like and how easy it is to do. And, you can do this on WordPress. You could do this on any content management system that you have, right? And I'll quickly do it now. And then, this is pretty simple and easy. So all you do is you would add a new HTML block. And this is the page before. So this is what the page looks like before. And then if you wanted to add that new HTML block, which I'll delete in a second because we're just running a quick test here. So sorry to anyone who's using this page, right? We're editing the live page here. I'm going to paste in that HTML from Claude, like so. We're going to hit publish, right? And that's just going to upload the changes over here in the top right. So you can see here we've added the code inside this block. We've published it. And then if we open up this tab, there we go, right? So we've got the new section right here from Claude Opus, right? And that's how easy it is to set up, right? And then it's got all the new sections that we talked about a second ago. Again, that was just a quick test. I'm going to delete that. Then I'm going to publish it so that we restore it back to whatever we want. And then if we go back to preview on this, 1 second. All right, so if we go back to preview, we've deleted the old version and re-added the new version, right? That's pretty simple and easy, okay? Yeah, that's what I'd recommend. I have a server running WordPress. I want to page a calculator in a subdirectory. I want to put the vibe coded calculator in a subdirectory. All right, so here's how I would approach it. And I would just keep it as simple as you possibly can, my friend, because WordPress gets messy, PHP gets messy. I don't like to touch any of that, especially if you're running a business, you're trying to save time, not spend time, right? And so the way that I'd recommend is, like, for example, if we go to add new post over here inside WordPress, so add new post, or you can add a new page as well if you want. If you prefer to add a new page, no problem, all right? So we can add a new page over here. And then whatever your HTML block is, you just click on the plus, grab that, hit custom HTML like so. Then you're going to go back to Claude, copy that code that you've just created the code with, go back to the HTML block here, paste that in, hit publish, and then it might not work straight away, but we'll have a cheeky gander at this and make sure we can have a look here. So let's go on view page, and boom, look, we've got the HTML code embedded, right? Nice and clean. I mean, like it's not the most clean page in the world when we do it that way, but you can always tidy it up later. I mean, we've even got like the rolling ticker at the bottom. We've got the boxes that we designed with Claude. It looks nice, to be fair. And then you just need to add the YouTube video to insert right there, right? And so that's how I would do it. And then let's say, for example, you want to add like a nice little SEO calculator in there, right? You can go back to the chat inside here, and you say, right, okay, just create and add a nice SEO calculator people can use on the page too, right? So we can embed that HTML code in there. And so if you've got a vibe coded tool like we're using with Claude right now, then all you do is you grab the next HTML and then you're going to paste that inside the same method, right? And you can do that inside High Level, you can do that inside WordPress. It's literally all the same stuff, which is create a HTML block, add in the HTML, right? Boom. Pretty much as simple as that. Now, you know, the thing to note here is like some people say, I'm not technical enough to build tools, but you know, Claude just writes all the code for you. So you just describe what you want in plain English, like I've done today. And then you've got the models to power up, right? You're just having a conversation, you're not coding. Some people say as well, it takes months to learn this stuff. But, you know, with these new tools, you see how simple it is, especially if you're watching this stuff. So you can start building your first working tool or your first working landing page today, not next month, today, right? And the AI does all the hard parts. So you just guide it. Some people say, well, I'm going to break or mess something up. But these tools are designed to be safe, right? So you can just test it in a test environment or a blank page like I'm doing today, and then you can go and edit it later, all right? So we're just waiting for that to be added now. It's re-adding the new section, I believe, and then we'll come back to that HTML code in a second. There we go, boom, all right. And it's just, I think it's just adding the JavaScript functionality right there. Some people want to say, well, it only works for tech people. But the truth is, like, I can build a tool and anyone can build a tool now without ever having coded anything, right? You just describe what you want, Claude builds it, and you can use it right now for creating blog posts, for writing landing pages, for coding tools like you can see we're doing today. It's still coding that out, like you can see. Oh, there we go. Look, we've got that little tool vibe coded into the page, right? So that's how you do it. And then if you want to grab that, you can just copy it, go back to High Level. If you wanted to add it inside High Level, you would just click on add HTML like so, paste that in, and then hit publish, and that can start adding in. All right. And then you can see here we're solving the problem for you because now you've got that calculator embedded inside the page, right? As you can see, right? Nice and easy. And then what you could also do is you could do the same inside WordPress, right? So you just delete the old HTML. You can just click on delete like so. Then add the new HTML, right? Paste it in, hit update. And then if we go to the new page here, we've got the calculator embedded inside, right? And that's basically how it goes. So, I mean, you don't need to worry about PHP or all this sort of like messing around. Don't make it complicated for yourself. Just make it easy for yourself, right? And just use the HTML method that I'm showing you today. So that's pretty much it. That's how we do it, my friend. Mullo says Gemini has persistent memory. Now that is game changing. I've not tested that out, but I've also found that with Claude is like it's got really, really good memory. Like I've pretty much stopped using ChatGPT now. I just tend to find ChatGPT 5.1 was maybe the worst release I've ever come across. And so, yeah, I've stopped using ChatGPT and I'm pretty much only using Claude right now, to be honest with you. Clickstanger says, hello, good to see you here. Is that Google Slides from Notebook LM better than GenSpark AI Slider? I found that kind of like on par, to be honest. Like I probably wouldn't use GenSpark that much anymore since I've started using Notebook LM, and obviously Notebook LM is a free tool as well. So yeah, this is pretty cool. All right, so we've covered a lot of the, how to build this stuff, how to do it, how you can implement this stuff, how easy it is. If you want to see an example as well, here's another example, right? So we've been using Claude every day now and this was using Sonnet, but now we've upgraded to Claude Opus, and you can see our rankings are just going up really nicely for this website over time, right? And again, we're just using Claude Opus to help us do this. So for example, this website, it was getting like 4 clicks a day, 6 clicks a day. Now, boom shakalaka, look at that. It was getting, what's that, 134 clicks a day, something like that. And it's on a really nice trajectory as well, with 13,000 impressions per day as well. So yeah, we're living the dreams, my friend. And you can see like we're ranking for like, GLM 4.6, Sora 2, Flow with OS, etc. Right, pretty simple and easy. So how do you get Claude GenSpark to secure the web page? That's a great question. I'm not a security expert, to be honest with you, but the way that I would approach that is I would say, okay, now advise me plus update the code on this page to be more secure, right? Something like that. And then you can just use that to start generating a more secure page. You can also add like plugins to your websites, so for example, like Cloudflare is one. You got stuff like WordFence is another one. Obviously, you want to have the basics like HTTPS on the website too. And just make sure that you protect your site from every angle. Even basic stuff like how you share passwords with your team, you want to be using something like Dashlane to help you and just keep things like secure. Milo says the memory is a brand new feature, Julian. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Has that just come out today, or is that a new one? But either way, you can see how easy this is to use, and how we've basically implement this into our systems. And this is a live web page, by the way. Like, if you click the link in the comments description, like this is actually a page that we're using right now to get leads, to get customers, right? And we've completely vibe coded it with Opus 4.5. So it's pretty wild how powerful this stuff is, and it's amazing how easy it is to use as well. That also blows my mind. But yeah, there you go. I'm just going to update the page and delete the old HTML before I mess up the funnel. All right, so we've got to, if you want to know, like, okay, how do you delete that HTML that you added, right? If you want to know that, then all you do is you go back to the original tab where you added the edits, right? Whether that was in Go High Level or whatever. And then we've got the code up here. We're going to delete that. We're going to hit publish, update this. Then we're going to preview this, share it in the tab. Boom, we're back to normal, right? So we've got back to the original. And then also, if we go back to this tab, you can also go to versions here, and then you can see all the previous versions of Go High Level. So when you're building out a funnel, you can restore it if you want. And like, you can see how many different versions it's got just from Friday alone, like all these different versions we've created right here. So pretty simple and easy. Milo says, so we'll look at this. Milo says, personal context, Gemini gives you a personalized experience using your past chats. You can also give it instructions to customize its responses. Your past chat. Yeah, so it sounds kind of similar to Claude in the way that Claude is working with past chats. So it will remember a lot of the stuff that I'll talk about with Claude from past chats as well. Obviously, ChatGPT does that as well. And yeah, you get a personalized experience from each one. So pretty cool. What else was I going to show you? That's pretty much it, to be honest with you. Some people want to say these tools are too expensive, but you can use Gemini, you can use Claude for free. So you don't need to worry about this. They all have free tiers. You can just build and test everything. And then, if you're ready to scale, then you can sign up and pay for something. But otherwise, you don't need to worry about that, right? And some people say, well, what if the AI makes mistakes? But the truth is, right, you check the output. So you, just like, you check the work from a human. The difference is like AI is going to fix that mistake in seconds, whereas sometimes the human will not fix a mistake at all. I'll tell you that from my own experience. So, these are some of the things you want to do. Now, what I've also done here is I've created a 30-day action plan so you can start implementing this stuff yourself. All right. Thoughts on Grok 5 and Tesla flying cars? Are we on back? Is it Back to the Future now? I mean, honestly, I've been disappointed with pretty much every single version of Grok. So I don't think I'm going to care too much about Grok 5, but I will cover it when it gets released. When it comes to Tesla, I mean, I've sat in Teslas, like they're quite nice. If it's, flying cars, that might take a while, but hopefully that's coming soon. That'd be nice. That'd make life interesting. And then ClickSanger says, I think Claude is better than Gemini, but it's more expensive. So you can just use a main chat, right? If you just want to use Claude for free, you can use the free tier, or you can use the main chat. And it's, you know, like the basic on Claude AI is pretty reasonable, I think, the price. I've been working on the enterprise grade SaaS for the past year, and Opus 4.5 has completely catapulted my results in the past 48 hours. I'm not a software engineer. Boom. There we go. That's an action taker. Good for you, mate. Good for you. That's impressive, to be fair. And it's awesome to hear your progress right there. So let's talk about the 30-day action plan. How are you going to use this stuff? So, you know, I would start using a combination of like Google AI Studio and Claude Opus. You know, test both by just having personal conversations, seeing what you like. You can see from the chat that, you know, like some of these are good, some of these are bad, right? Isn't Claude Opus 4? So they have a free tier, right? Just to be clear here, Claude Opus have a free tier, and then they have like a monthly subscription. Either way, it's pretty affordable. Flying car is coming Q1 of 2026. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. Are you going to get one? Who's getting a flying car? That should be the poll on the YouTube today. And then day 2, I would recommend like learning how to describe what you want, you know, and just practice with Claude, asking it to build simple tools. Day 3, just connect AI Studio to your Claude tools as well, and then you build your first complete tool. Could be, for example, like a blog post outline generator, or, you know, some of the stuff that we already use right here. Muller says ChatGPT is still useful for design. It's not bad, but it's not great. That's the problem that I'm finding with Claude. And then where to get free Opus? Isn't it Sonnet that's free? So you can get, I think Opus is available on the free tiers too. Let me just double check this. I want to see what the pricing is now for this stuff. Let's have a look here. So this is a pricing page. So you can try Claude for free. You get the chat, generate code. So you can still code with Claude. It doesn't actually mention on the pricing page whether you get Claude Opus or not. But I'm pretty sure I've used Opus when I've been on the free plan. Yeah, so, and I think there's some workarounds as well, right? So for example, like you can go on to other models as well, use this for free. I think Income Stream Surface as well, they did a video on how to use Claude for free as well. So there's a few ways you can use this as well. Let's have a look here. Yeah. Fact says, hey, Julian, down to collaborate on something amazing. The only people I collaborate are really with people inside the AI Profit Boardroom. And even then, I pretty much say no to everything when it comes to collaboration, just because like I'm super busy and I have a lot going on. But if you want to find people that are down to collaborate with you, then just post inside the AI Profit Boardroom. We have a Black Friday deal on if you've not already signed up. Link in the comments description, and then, you know, connect with people right there. All right. I'm using Opus 4.5 through Windsurf under promo. Oh, that's cool. All right. So that's a good workaround right there. Mulo says, I basically use ChatGPT to make the other analytical models work, which is pretty cool as well. Only collabs with CEO of NVIDIA. I've never worked with the CEO of NVIDIA, but maybe one day I'll make it. And ClickSanger says $20 is not so expensive when you build apps. Yeah, exactly. That's what I would say. Just Simply Genius says, by the way, thank you for all your hard work. Happy to help. Happy to help. All right. So we got some cool people in the chat here today. Awesome to see you guys. Yeah, if we come back to the 30-day plan here, so you're going to do the foundation. Then from here, you know, I would start testing, like, for example, you could build a keyword researcher or a content score or a landing page or a meta description, etc. Then you're going to start moving on to advanced building and custom solutions. But the main point here is like, just learn how to use this stuff, guys. Like, you know, if you want to learn a 30-day action plan for all this stuff, I've actually included it inside the AI Profit Boardroom with the notes from today. So if you go to the classroom, then you go down to, where is it, SP updates. Then you can see we've got a full section on Claude Opus 4.5 right here. So if you learn how to use this stuff, all our use cases, the 30-day action plan, etc., it's all inside here, right? With some practical examples for how you can use this stuff too. So that's basically it. Now, Quicksang says, "We love you, Master, for being Dave. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. You're an absolute legend." So yeah, that's basically how to use Claude Opus. I've shown you how it works, etc. Before we wrap up, I just want to show you something. So, what you're doing here with Claude Opus, with Google, with Gemini, etc. It's just touching the surface. All right. And the real transformation happens when you join the AI Profit Boardroom and get access to everything that I've built. So I've shown you that you get the 30-day action plan from today. Every single time there's a new update, we actually release new training on it inside the S&P section. So you can see here, these are all the updates just from this month alone, right? We had loads of new stuff inside here so that you can always learn and grow and start learning this stuff. And so when you sign up to the AI Profit Boardroom, you get number one, 4 coaching calls a week. So you can show up live and ask any questions and connect with us as a community. There's actually a call happening today if you want to sign up for that. Number 2, you get unlimited custom GPT requests. So you can actually request new stuff as well. And then also you get the AI avatar engine, which is basically a system I've used to help you produce content, handle delivery, and support your clients. You basically duplicate yourself using the trainings from the AI Profit Boardroom. And then additionally, you get all sorts of stuff, including, for example, our trainings on NA10 and how to get high ticket clients, how to, for example, scrape the web and do web automations, how to do AI SEO automations, and even how I've built a channel with AI. So we've got a full section on a YouTube roadmap right there. And that's not to mention all of the community members that you can connect with inside the AI Profit Boardroom as well. All right, so feel free to get that link in the comments description. We've got a special Black Friday deal, and I've already shown you today the landing page for the SEO Black Friday deal. That's inside the link in the comments descriptions for Black Friday only. You'll save 30% on the checkout if you use the code Black Friday. Just sign up via the portal here, and then you can select whichever package you want, and then sign up for your package. Type in the coupon. So, for example, Black Friday. Hit apply, and then save yourself 30% right there. And then just sign up down here with the details. Master Blaster Opus is available directly through Windsurf. And okay, but why better? Yeah, I mean, like if you want to code locally, then you would use Windsurf. But if you want to, do something quick like I've shown you today and just preview it instantly, then you can use something like Claude in the chat. I would say that's easier and faster than the stuff we talked about today. All right, so thanks so much for watching. You've seen all the Black Friday deals today. I would see you inside the AI Profit Boardroom, showing you exactly how to use Claude Opus 4.5 and how to code with it, some of the cool stuff we've built with it, like this landing page, and exactly how it works step by step. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye-bye.